Hey guys, happy Saturday. I am back. I'm feeling like maybe this is, let me see, I just want to make sure everybody can see me. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. All right, good morning. Yay! It's Saturday and I am surviving the chaos in my house. I am doing a redo, update, whatever you want to call it. So painting, new carpet, and flooring. So my life feels a little chaotic right now, and but I'm surviving here. I have like, the internet is not even on, so I have to use like a hotspot when I use my computer. I'm like, oh my God. So I have one more nutrition coaching in like 15 minutes. So I wanted to jump on here because I didn't get a chance to do this yesterday. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what is my next protocol for my, or my strategy for my SIBO healing journey. So as most of you guys know, I have been, trying to heal what I now know as SIBO, right? I was told I had IBS back in the 90s. Probably so many of you had IBS. Always struggled with, gut health issues, bloating, constipation, just the whole thing, the whole 9 yards, chronic fatigue, all of that. I think I have a sprinkler broken. I do. I can hear, so my sprinklers are going off right now and there's a broken one. I don't know if you can hear the background water, but that's what's going on. I'm not like in a waterfall somewhere. So I wanted to share with you the next protocol. So if you haven't been paying attention, all of these are Tracy's Got Guts, my SIBO healing journey. So, and I'm loading them on my YouTube channel, which is Mosaic Fitness and Nutrition. So you guys can always check all of them out on there and all that, so to get what I'm doing. But what did I do? So the first week, or first 2 weeks, I did the carnivore diet. Crazy, because I was mainly plant-based. So, but here's the crazy thing. When you have SIBO, you have, and you eat, plant-based, or you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, which are so full of phytonutrients and they're so good for you. The problem is that bacteria that is overgrown in your small intestine, there can be a couple different reasons that happen. I think mine was related to food poisoning. It also could have been because I had mono, which, I had the EBV virus in my body, as well as I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and you can get bacteria from the cavications that travel to the gut. So there can be a couple reasons that they're finding out through research why people are being afflicted with this, and most of the time your symptoms don't show up for about 3 to 6 months. So when I started to think back, I can remember a specific time I had food poisoning, and boom, it was like about 4 to 6 months later that I remember having these weird issues and slowly food becoming my enemy. I mean, literally like my nemesis. And when you're younger, I was like 19 at the time, getting rid of things like fast food or beer or what was something that fried foods, you know what? It was like, okay, this is fine. I can get healthier. I was a little vain. So I was like, well, I like to look nice anyway. It doesn't really matter to me. Hey, Kelsey. So it wasn't a big deal. But as time went on, even normal foods were bothering me. And little by little, I started eliminating things from my diet. I got rid of dairy. I stopped eating pastas and things like that because those usually seem to affect me a lot. So, but here's the thing with SIBO. When you are eating those amazing fibrous foods, it's like fast food for that bacteria. They're like pulling into Burger King, eating away at all the amazing fiber you're giving it. And so I had to really go out of the box here, and that was the reason why I chose to go a completely different direction than the way that I was going, because it wasn't working. And I think really having cancer made me go, all right, I have to really rethink what I'm doing, because even though nutrition-wise I know the nutrients, the superfoods, I understand the vitamins and minerals that are packed in the fruits and vegetables, but my goal is to get back there, but I need to heal my gut first. And so I did the carnivore diet. 7 to 14 days, never felt better. My gut never felt better. I didn't have brain fog. I felt really clear. And, you know, I wasn't feeding that bacteria. So it gave it a chance to die off a little bit. And I also was taking some supplements, and I shared those on one of my supplement videos. And so one of the strategies is to switch around the supplements, especially what they call the killers. So there's 3 kind of categories of supplements. One are the killers, which help to normalize the bacteria, kill the overgrowth of bacteria. You need bacteria in your gut, we all know this, but to kill it, the ones that are overgrown, and to normalize it so that you have more normal gut flora. The second thing is Interphase. That's a product that helps to break down the biofilm. Here's the thing with bacteria, they're sneaky little buggers and they don't want to be killed. They found a home in that gut and they want to stay there. They're like, you're giving me fast food every day, bring it on. And so to kill that, or to protect themselves, they form this like snotty layer. If you guys have ever eaten some, this happens to me. If I eat something pretty glutinous, okay, so like bread, or like, you know, if you ever gone to like Macaroni Grill and they give you that big bread, oh my God, I used to love that, right? And dip it in the olive oil and balsamic vinegar. I remember I would eat that, and this was years ago because I haven't had it in a long time, and I would get this like snotty, mucusy thing in my throat. And so that happens to me if I eat something, and it can be even just a little bit now. Like back in the day, it was like I had to eat kind of a little bit more, but now even a little bit, I will wake up with that. And so I don't know if that's kind of what's happening in the gut, because obviously we can't see it, but it feels like that to me. Probably there's some layer that they're seeing that it will hide in. So you have to break down the biofilm. Then the third thing are prokinetics, and that's to help you tone your colon, get the nerve stimulated again. A lot of people that have tested for SIBO, especially the methane SIBO, those bacteria and the archaea, which is another little bug in there, that's why the IBS-C, the constipation, is really tough to get rid of, because the antibiotic doesn't really affect it. It will the hydrogen or the IBS-D. So it'll affect the nerve plexus. That is the ileocecal valve. So if you have your small intestine, food comes down, right? Stomach, the whole thing. It's in your small intestine that absorption is taking place. Food is, you know, being broken down in the stomach, comes into the small intestine, and then the magic happens there. It goes out to the bloodstream. And then the goal is to get it into the large intestine, anything that's not needed for the body. And then that's kind of the reservoir until you go to the bathroom. So that nerve plexus can essentially be, I guess I would say, what's a good word, like almost paralyzed or just not working efficiently. And so the door's really slow to open. And so that's where you get people who feel really backed up. I would eat and literally felt like my food was just piling on top of food. And I was eating all great things. So I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't go to the bathroom. So, and I mean, I've eaten fiber for years, so it wasn't like, oh, you eat too much fiber. You know, sometimes people get off the standard American diet and they start eating fiber and they eat too much fiber and then they can't go to the bathroom. That was not the case with me. So what am I doing now? So I did carnivore for 2 weeks. I did a water fast. It ended up being 4 days. I ended up breaking it in the evening on day 4. My stepdaughter came over and I haven't seen her since July, so we decided to go out to eat. And I knew I had to break this fast differently because in the past I usually do fermented vegetables, cabbage soup with sauerkraut. Okay, all of that's gonna feed the bacteria. I'm like, not gonna do that. So we went to a restaurant up here called Uncorked. They have like this little appetizer that is just olives. It's just all these different olives. That's what I broke my fast with last time. So I did olives, and I ended up going with I got a spring mix salad and tomatoes and a piece of salmon, and I just didn't put dressing on it, just because sometimes the dressings have all kinds of sugars in them. So if you guys go out, just know, like, limit the dressing. It has a ton of high fructose corn syrup usually, and other things that are made in the lab. It's gonna make your body feel bad. So I just limited, and you know, actually if you get like salmon or chicken on top of it, a lot of times it can help the like the bitterness of the greens taste better. So, you know, you can use the flavoring from that. So that's what I did. and I felt fine. I did good. Yesterday was a weird day because I had people coming to my house and it's just been chaos. So we just found this guy that a friend of mine knows. So it was like, he can come today, Tracy. I was like, oh my gosh. So literally we were like moving everything, and we ended up going and getting porcelain tile, and then there's like these hairline cracks in the foundation or the concrete, and he's like, this gonna, you know, end up cracking the tile, so we had to go back. So it was crazy. So I'm starting today. So I had already ran over to Starbucks, I got some coffee, and I got a nectar drink. So I can feel it in my tummy. Things are moving and shaking. And which is good, because for me, usually they stay stuck, like, you know, so I can feel my digestive system is moving, which is really promising for me. I got something there called the Toxic Flush. So if you guys go to Nectar, it is fresh fruit. It's fresh fruits and vegetables when they make it. So when you go to those juice bars, you want to make sure they don't pre-make their stuff, because it will taste different and you're not getting all the nutrients from, you're still getting some. I mean, let's face it, it's better than eating, you know, McDonald's. But places that have are preparing it right in front of you, and you can see them filling up the blender with fresh stuff. You want to go to a place like that, because it's totally different experience. So this had like 5 things in it, like parsley, lemon, ginger, spinach. I think there was one other thing, I can't think of what it is. So I drank. It was so good. Oh my gosh, especially not having that in so long. It was like, it's so delicious. It was so good. So what's next? What am I doing next? So here's what I am going to focus on. Every week I had watched a plant-based doctor, Dr. Angie Sadeghi. She's another one to really follow too. She's got a lot of good information. She's vegan, but don't let that deter you. You know, lots of good stuff. She's a gastroenterologist, and she talked about people who are fiber challenged and what they can do to help start getting fiber back in their diet. And then people with SIBO, what can they do? So she had a couple different strategies that I listened to, kind of wrote them down. I thought, okay, like I'm gonna kind of use this as a framework. She starts with root vegetables, but I've noticed, this could be post-cancer, this could be post-menopause, I don't know. I've noticed when I eat things with a lot of starch, like potatoes and things which I love and are full of great nutrients, that I start to put inflammation on my body. Now the scale doesn't go up, but I notice I'm different and my clothes fit tighter. So I'm like, I'm gonna just wait on those. So what I'm gonna do is greens and proteins. So what does that look like? So here's what I wanna say. Here's my like disclaimer. Proteins does not mean meats only, okay? A lot of people think protein means I need protein powder and I need copious amounts of meat, and that's not really what I'm saying. So proteins are in things like vegetables, especially our green leafy vegetables. So I'm going to do a combination of the two, greens and proteins. So I just put it together because it sounded cute. So most of what is in here for low FODMAP foods. So this is Dr. Pompa's guide. It's a 3-step SIBO and CEO guide. If you haven't gotten it, it's a free download. So go get it if you have this. This will help you have a framework. And if you need help, I do a 30-minute free nutrition consult. So just, you know what, I'll put my website below and you can book a time with me. We can talk and I can walk you through some of the stuff. I am going to put a guide together at some point. I got to get my house in order, but it's coming. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do greens and proteins. And the focus will be on low FODMAP foods. So remember that FODMAPs are those fermentable, poorly absorbed, short-chained carbohydrates. Okay, so basically it's the fast food for the bacteria. And so we want to avoid those. So FODMAP is an acronym. I'm not going to go through it right now, but basically what they found is here's the low FODMAP foods and here's the higher FODMAP foods. And if you look on the internet, some of them have a little bit of a different variation. But here's some of the things. I'm just going to read it off of here. He's got it listed, examples of low FODMAP foods. So things like vegetables would be like broccoli, cucumbers, kale, lettuce, peppers, green and red, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, okay? So those are the vegetables. So I'm not gonna do the sweet potatoes right now, and I'm not sure about the broccoli just because I may just do just a little bit because I'm not sure how I'm gonna tolerate that. Fruits are gonna be mostly berries, so strawberries, blueberries, lemons, raspberries, kiwi. You can do meats, so I'm gonna do grass-fed, grass-finished, organic meats. So, you know, beef, chicken, lamb. I don't do pork. I hate pork. And turkey. And then some of the other FODMAP foods he has on here is grains, so quinoa, buckwheat, rice, and oats. And then he talks about specific ingredients to avoid. So lactose, inulin, most gluten-free products. Those of you that are using them right now, I know it's been the craze. It's been a big marketing craze, okay? So just buyer beware. A lot of that stuff is full of hidden sugars. So you wanna really be careful with that stuff. Whole foods, guys, just think whole foods. Tapioca, potato starch, maltodextrin, which is a corn derivative, pectin, sorbitol, and other alcohol sugars. So that is, those are the low FODMAP foods that he recommends. But I'm focusing on for 1 week because I want to see how my body tolerates things in a really slow manner. So I'm going to do some, you know, recipes and pictures and things like that that I'll be showing you guys next week. But I'm going to stick to mainly greens, lots of salads, kale, you know, things like stir fries and things like that. And, you know, going to go back to like some of the meats that I was eating. Like I have some lamb, I have some chicken, things like that. So, and eggs, you can do eggs too. So that's what I'm going to focus on food-wise. So I'll be sharing that with you guys next week. As far as the supplements, I'm switching some of them out. So at night, I'm basically going to keep the nerve and the colon. That's what I've been taking. One helps to strengthen your nerves. Another one's going to help tone the bowel. Did you ever think you'd have to tone your bowel? You're like, I tone my bicep. Yeah, we're toning the bowel too. We're doing that with both of these, okay? And then I'm going to do Bind as well. I started adding this during my water fast. This helps with pulling toxins. So when your toxins are being released because of bacteria, because of mercury, because of whatever it is in your body that you're holding on to, this will help to eliminate the toxins in a safer way so that they're not recirculating back through the body into the brain. Dr. Pompa does so many great videos on this stuff. I will not do it justice, but check him out because he's really great with that. Keeping with Interphase, that's going to help break down the biofilm, so I'm sticking with that. And then the 3 killers, so I changed my killers. I was doing like Candida Complex, Bactrex, and colloidal silver. So I'm gonna change it because what they say is, remember, bacteria is smart and they will figure out like, oh, they're trying to kill me, I need to, you know, be resistant. I mean, I'm totally like being animated. I don't really know what they're saying, but that's what they do, and that's why they suggest to switch them up. So I am gonna do Burb Eval. Burb Eval, that's what it's called, Burb Eval. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it, Burb Eval. So what does it do? I write it on the top so I understand. So it supports healthy blood sugar, okay? So I had high A1C post-cancer. So it's been normal since I actually started upping my fats and stuff like that back in 2017. But this helps to support healthy blood sugars. Maybe those of you with diabetes, that probably could be a really good one. And then antimicrobial properties as well. My client is, I just lost it. Okay. The other thing is, I don't know if she's coming. I don't know. She said she's here. Okay, oil of oregano. I want to show you guys that one. This is an antioxidant and it helps with microbial balance. So that's what this oil of oregano. Some of you with SIBO or gut issues, you may have tried oregano and you're like, that doesn't even work. Again, this protocol is specific for what his clinical studies have shown to help people rid themselves of SIBO. And it's not just a one-size-fits-all type of thing. It really, truly is being able to manipulate this through diet, through supplements, making sure you're adding good probiotics, and the ones that don't feed the bacteria, because it's lactulose that feeds the bacteria. So if you do lactulose and it's in your probiotic, because they're saying that that feeds the SIBO. We don't want to feed the SIBO. Last one I'm taking is Antratil. So my digestive doctor, Dr. Ken Brown, created this. I bought it I guess last fall. Started taking it. I don't know if I noticed anything good. Hi, Julianne. I'm almost finished. I don't know if I noticed anything major with it, just alone, but this is what I'm going to be adding. So now that I'm adding the combination of them, I'm hoping that will help. I mean, I've been feeling great for 3 weeks, so I'm really excited, and I'm excited to put this all together for all of you to help with your gut health issues. Oh, and finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about is I have a small group. I'm starting my small groups again. It's called Prism. So what is it? It's 12 weeks. It's 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have 5:30 a.m. classes and 6:30 a.m. classes. It's a mini group, so not even really a small group. It's a mini group. I take 4 people. I can customize the workouts. A lot of times we're doing the same thing, but if you have maybe some orthopedic issues or things like that, we're able to make those modifications for you. Half the cost of personal training, and I add 6 bonus nutrition coaching sessions. So PRISM is an acronym. It's going to be Pilates movements, rotational movements, inner core, strength and mobility training. So message me if you're interested in any of that or you just want more information, and I will post my website below if you guys want to do a nutrition consult with me, or you're interested in a small group. We're going to start September 4th. It's going to start. So, all right. I'll see you guys next week.